So chords are all about spatial relationships between the notes. We already covered that every chord has a root, third, and fifth. However, in the C major chord, for instance, the distance between a C to an E is different. It's actually wider than the space from E to the G. That one's smaller. So I know I'm holding a guitar here, but honestly, I really recommend we reference a keyboard for some of this talk. So I'm going to be showing you these notes on a keyboard because, just to be honest, piano and the keyboard in general is music theory black and white. It is the musical space. It's the easiest to sort of wrap your head around the space between notes. It's a little bit easier than guitar. So let's use this as a reference and discuss how to make a major chord. So if we look at our musical scale, again, we remember it goes from A all the way through G and then repeats. And then if we look between A to B is a whole step, between B to C is a half step, so that's the one with no black key in between. C to D, that's a whole step. D to E is a whole step. E to F is another half step. And then F to G is a whole step. G to A is another whole step. That'll be really important to keep in mind as we're building some of these chords and thinking about this. So let's take C major for example. We already know the C major chord is C, E, G. Let's take a look at the distance. How many half steps is it from C to the letter E? Well, we start with C down, and then let's just count the half steps. C to C sharp is 1, C sharp to D is 2, D to D sharp is 3, D sharp to E is 4. So 4 half steps away from C to E. That's also known as a major third. So just think a major third is 4 half steps away. 4. Now E to G. Is that going to be 4 half steps away? Let's find out. So from E to F, that's 1. F to F sharp is 2. F sharp to G is 3. And that's it. We have a C, E, G chord. So E to G is only 3 half steps away. That is known as a minor third. So let's recap. C to E, the distance between those is 4 half steps. That's a major third. And we represent that by writing a capital M with a superscript 3. And then E to G is a minor third, only 3 half steps away. And we represent that with a lowercase m, 3. So the formula for a major chord is 4 half steps plus 3 half steps. It's a major third plus a minor third. So let's take a look at another chord we know. How about G major? So if we look at G major, G is our root, and then we have to go every other letter. So G, we skip A, B is the third, skip C, D is the fifth, G, B, D. So we know it's a major chord, right? But let's just follow the same pattern. Is it going to be a 4 plus 3? It better be, and I promise you it is. So let's start on G and get to that B. So G to G sharp is 1, G sharp to A is 2, A to A sharp is 3, A sharp to B, that's 4. So that's our major third, G to B. And then we have B to D. Let's take a look at this one. Well, B to C, because we don't have a B sharp or a C flat, however you want to say it. So B to C is 1, C to C sharp is 2, and then C sharp to D is 3. And there you have it. That's it. 4 plus 3, major third plus a minor third. So both of those first two examples, they didn't actually have any sharps or flats in them. Let's take a slightly different chord now. How about A major and take a look at that one. So if I'm making an A major chord, I'm going to start on the letter A and I'm going to go up 4 half steps, a major third away, and figure out what that is. So A to A sharp, that's 1. A sharp to B is 2. B to C is 3. So that's still not it. A to C would be a minor third. We need to go up 1 more to C sharp. A, C sharp, that's a major third. Okay, now for the first time, we're seeing an accidental. That's okay, you did it just right. A, C sharp, and then now from C sharp to E, let's figure out what that is. Well, C sharp to D is 1. D to D sharp is 2. D sharp to E is 3. So that's it. A, C sharp, E. Now, taking it to guitar, let's just think about what that is. Maybe you already know how to play the A major chord. There's a lot of different ways to play it. I'm just going to play the stack version right here. And sure enough, we have an A. If we played string 6 too, that would be an E. But if we wanted to play the root of the chord in the bass, that would be the A, the open A string. And then finger 1 is down on string 4 right below it. That's an E. Then we have another A on the G string, fret 2. And then that's the really distinctive note. String 2, fret 2. That's a C sharp, and then we have one more E on string 1. Think about this. Think about the difference between A major to A minor. So just a second ago, we had our finger down on C sharp, string 2, fret 2, for the A C sharp E. But now, finger 1 is going to be on string 2, fret 1. That's a C natural. So that's a slightly different spacing, but this is the really exciting thing. For a minor chord, it's almost the same exact equation, just reversed. And I was never good at math, but I promise I was able to get this stuff. You can definitely get it too. So this means that for a minor chord, the equation for how to make a minor chord is almost exactly the same as a major chord. It's just reversed. So instead of a major third plus a minor third, now for minor chords, you're going to have a minor third plus a major third. Let's look at the distance between the notes and test that out. So from A to C, well, we got to figure out that spacing. Let's do it. A to A sharp is 1, A sharp to B is 2, B to C is 3. So sure enough, there's a minor third. Now we got to go from C to E. So C to C sharp, that's 1. C sharp to D is 2. D to D sharp is 3. D sharp to E, that's 4. That's our major third. So as you can see, the minor chord, A minor, is A, C, E. It's a minor third plus a major third. Awesome. Let's do another minor example. This time, D minor. So if I say I want a D minor chord, where do you start? Well, start with the root of the chord D. The next step, just stack your chord in thirds. Write out your root, third, and fifth. It's okay if you don't know if that's going to be an F something or an A something. You just know it's going to be D, we skip E, F, we skip G, A. D, F, A. And that's what we're going to do. Write that out. Now we can count our half steps and make sure that that's a minor third away. So D to D sharp is 1, D sharp to E is 2, E to F is 3. So D to F, we're good. We're locked in there. Now how about F to A? F to F sharp is 1, F sharp to G is 2, G to G sharp is 3, G sharp to A is 4. So there you have it, 3 plus 4. That's a minor third plus a major third. And sure enough, on guitar, D minor, if you know your notes yet, E to F right there. On the D minor chord, that is the minor third right there, that F. And if you've been playing guitar for a while, you might know that your D major chord is like this. So we look at what's the difference here. I mean, we are changing fingers rather dramatically, but the true note difference is this F is now going to be an F sharp. And that makes total sense because the minor chord was 3 plus 4, 3 half steps away plus 4 half steps away. But now we need to reverse it. That distance between D to F needs to increase. We can't make it D flat because we need a D minor chord, not a D flat minor chord. So that D can't change, the root can't change. We've got to increase the space away from D, which means that if we need to go from F to F sharp, F sharp. And that's all you have to do. You don't actually have to change the A at all because let's think about F sharp to A. F sharp to G is 1, G to G sharp is 2, G sharp to A is 3. So just by making that one change, changing the third of the chord, that's going to make all the difference between is it a minor chord or a major chord. So it's pretty amazing how one little half step difference has such a profound impact on our ears, on how we feel, on the music we play and the emotions we convey. So your action item for this is to start making those major chords and minor chords for yourself. Start thinking about the distance between the notes. You now have these equations. Major chord is a major third plus a minor third. A minor chord is a minor third plus a major third. So all you have to do is sit down, start with a letter, write out the root, third, and fifth, and then if you have a keyboard, that's great. Or if you just need to, have a piece of paper with a keyboard on it, or just do the spacing and the counting in your head like I was doing, you can do that as well. And just start counting 4 half steps away, 3 half steps away. And that's all there is to it. And check out the description below. I'll actually have a little chord resource that you can use to do some of this practice on your own.